How have you strengthened relationships between IT and the business units?
For us, it's an overused term, but for us, it's all about alignment. So we made sure that we talk about what are the strategic initiatives that we have for our business, and then we organize our teams around that. At a mid-management level, we have program steering committees that get together around these major initiatives, so we make sure that everybody that's in the middle management position and senior management has a chance to provide their input, make sure we're focusing on the right things. And then at a senior manager or executive senior management level, we have agents advisory boards. We sell insurance, by the way, so we have agents advisory boards where we get out there and we make sure that we're getting direct customer feedback and we're building relationships with them.
How can IT professionals build the kind of relationships that drive success at the career and organizational levels?
What drives success, beyond having the right requirements and the right resources, is collaboration. What is the heart of collaboration? Those are relationships. How do you build relationships? You build relationships on trust and on mutual respect. So you build trust having open communication and being honest. And you build respect by having a giving mentality.
How have you strengthened relationships between IT and the business unit?
But I think one of the most important things is communications and developing credibility in the organization. Ongoing communications is extremely important. You never take for granted that these people know what's going on out there. You need to talk at their level, keep the technical jargon out of the conversation, but truly understand their business needs. There's nothing worse than implementing solutions that you think the company needs or the business needs. You've got to work with these people, you've got to work with them daily, and really become an extension of the business unit, not look at yourself as the IT department. You need to measure your successes and you need to react to your failures. So it's very important for us to figure out good ways to collaborate, to stay abreast of what's going on in the business units, and even as important, keeping them abreast of what's going on in technology.
What are the benefits of IT pros, to go to those events, such as groups such as yourself?
The advantage of user group meetings is that you get to network with others, and it sounds very simplistic, but the way our user group meetings are structured is that we have a technical presentation over the course of 2 hours, and then afterwards we meet at a local establishment and basically do some additional networking there. And again, doesn't sound like much, but you'd be amazed at the relationships that come out of it. It serves twofold, basically, the gaining the knowledge aspect as well as the networking aspect. And again, not to undermine networking, but if you think about it, the person you're sitting next to, especially in this room, has on average about 10 years of experience, and on average has been through about 3 employers. So there is a wealth of information about where they've been and how they can help you further your career, as well as the actual technical aspect of benefiting from that technical presentation.
How do some of the relationships that you forge translate into actual true business results?
Getting that constant feedback, making those tiny course corrections early on is critical. It also helps us with prioritization. The other thing, again, as an insurance company working through independent insurance agents, having that relationship with those agents is absolutely critical. If somebody likes you, they're going to want to do business with you.
Now your title, and I have to read this one, Interactive Strategy and Usability Association. Okay, it's pretty new to the industry. Can you explain what it means and why it's important to those around you?
What I do is focus on the user experience, on making our users happy and treating them as a valid stakeholder throughout the process rather than after. I do what Greg was talking about in terms of making sure that we save costs before production instead of after.
What would you consider some of the most beneficial relationships that you've had personally that have contributed to your professional success?
There's a ton of them that I could reflect on. I think generally one of the things that each of us has to do from a professional basis to really watch our careers grow is to latch on to a mentor wherever you're at. Whatever you're doing, you want somebody in that organization, or somebody, it doesn't have to be in that organization, but you need to make sure you have a mentor to help you through your career. There's nothing worse than not having a mentor and not working for somebody that can teach you something. So, throughout my career, I could go company to company and pick out an individual that I attached myself to, and I used that individual as a sounding board, somebody to help me, somebody to look at the things they were doing right, things they did wrong, and to turn around and play script and ask myself, what would I have done in that situation? I can tell you it's worked. It's been very successful for me. I've been doing this for a lot of years in the Cleveland area, and I've worked for 4 or 5 very large organizations, and there's not a single one that I haven't latched onto somebody as a mentor. And it's not just in the technology side. In most cases, you don't want it to be on the technology side. You want it to be a business partner that is going to be your mentor to pull you along, because that's really what you want to be, a business partner, not a technologist, in my opinion.
What's the best career move you've ever made?
The best career move I made was jumping into the driver's seat and becoming the president of the first user group that I ran in July 2003, and I'm still running today. And then I also launched another user group. The reason why I attribute a lot of my success to that is because I was able to collaborate with a lot of people, do a lot of information sharing, and get in-depth knowledge as far as launching my own business, which I did 2 years ago. And not only that, but it also exposed me to potential clients as well.
Terry's, you guys are top 100
Yes.
IT shop to work for in the United States 5 years in a row, right?
Right.
Okay, so what's the secret?
I would say the secret is that we have an organization that's built around quality. And in that quality, we ensure that we invest in our people. We invest in our people through certifications. Over 30% of our employees have at least one certification. 100% of our departments hold at least one employee that has a certification. And much of those certifications were not obtained until well after they became employees at Antares. And we also have a high life-work balance, which is different for the IT industry.
Okay, being a consultant and going into new organizations, is there a trick that you have that kind of helps you from day one start building some of those relations that are going to make it a successful engagement for you?
The first thing that I'm after is to feel their pain, find out what kind of problems they're going through, find out how is it that I can help solve their problem, find out what the overall issues are in the organization, not just within IT, but outside issues as well, their clients and how they deal with them, and how is it that you can help improve their relationships as well.
George, you talked about collaboration, and I work for an organization that's very virtual as well, and people are all over the place. And how do you support that within your organization to work in that virtualized area?
Well, we strive for a lot of face-to-face time with people. We spent a lot of time the first couple of years traveling and getting to know people personally.
This question is for Greg. How large is your IT staff? And second part to that is, what percentage of your IT staff has direct face-to-face contact with other persons in the business, like your underwriters and claims and that type of thing?
Well, our IT department is just a little over 50 people now, which is the smallest company I've ever worked at. But it's fun because just what you asked. I mean, getting the chance for people to work with the business folks. I'm breaking my own rule because I say the business. One of the things I'm stressing with my folks is we're all the business. And so, you know, we do technology, but we're part of that business process.
You have a formal requirements elicitation process. How do you go about it? What specific artifacts you create?
We have business analysts that go in and define requirements at a very high level, and we generate a statement of work out of that. Once a statement of work is generated, then we develop a functional spec. And our functional specifications include wireframes as well as detailed business rules, etc., to which the business signs off on and various areas sign off on, and then that's what the developers develop off of.
I had a former manager that once told me, he said, whenever you put together a set of specs, basically detail everything out, that if the wires were made of glass, you could see what was being communicated across the wire back and forth.
This is for George. Do you use your agile methodology for all your departments, so infrastructure, developers, business analysts, and all that?
It's a mix. Our new development, we're following agile methodology. Just this last year, we started using an agile methodology for our product development as it relates to technology projects. That's new for us. But a lot of our maintenance is still waterfall. Infrastructure projects are typically waterfalls.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining the panel discussion. I'd like to put a round of applause together for our panelists.